Be yourself. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It was my birthday recently, and I love my birthday. First of all, I've always felt like I was maybe 36, 37 inside of my body. But I am 26. I just turned 26. And I feel like every time I say that, people are like, you're 26. Oh my God, you're 26. I thought you were at least 47 years old. I like to think that people are just amazed by how mature I seem. Anyways, it was just my birthday. And I got so many fun things for my birthday as gifts from friends and family. And I do find that I'm a very fun person to shop for because I have so many specific interests. I have about 5 interests that really take up every ounce of my time, and I love doing all of them, and they're all I want to do all the time. And so if you buy me a gift that allows me to do those things more, it really makes me so happy. So I think I'm a very easy person to shop for, but also opening gifts is a real treat for me because everything I'm given usually I will use immediately. I am like a kid on Christmas. I want to stop the birthday dinner so that I can go and use the gift that I received because I'm very easy to shop for. So I received so many fun presents this year, and I was like, maybe I'll do a little haul on YouTube because technically speaking, I do YouTube for a living. I'm technically speaking a YouTuber, and I am not very comfortable on camera, which is very interesting because I've spent, I would say, almost my entire life on camera. When I was younger, I had a YouTube channel, the same exact YouTube channel, and I would post Q&As, I would post all that type of stuff, and I had such a great time with it. I still, even back then, had to do a lot of takes. I was very uncomfortable on camera even back then. You might be like, Kendahl, you do it full time now. How are you not used to it? I'm very used to it when I'm in a character. But being myself, I have a hard time. I have a hard time doing it on camera. And I have a podcast, but even that feels different. This feels so, I just feel really out to sea. Is that what they would say? I feel very on my own. I feel alone and scared. Usually there are people behind the camera. I'm comfortable performing. So even if there's one person behind the camera, I'm like, incredible, this is a show for that one person. But when the camera, there's just no one behind the camera. You want to know what's behind the camera is concrete because my apartment flooded last month and we are in a big battle with our insurance. And so the floors are still concrete. So that's what's behind you. Anyways. Let's do a birthday haul of everything I got for my birthday. I got absolutely incredible presents and it was so fun. I love my birthday. I love presents. I love receiving things. Let's just jump into it, okay? Okay, let's start. You can see this says Sephora. Now, no one gifted me something from Sephora, but because it was my birthday, I got a free item from Sephora. And this is what I chose. It is the Amica, I don't know. It is a shampoo and conditioner and a hair mask that I got for free. I got this for free just because it was my birthday. Just because I was born, I got this. I am not a person who gets my free items for my birthday. I can never remember to do that. That feels like a very type A thing someone does on their birthday. Jordan is very organized. And so every year on Jordan's birthday, they have a laundry list of places that we need to visit or order from for their birthday coupons and all of that. And so they drove me to Sephora and said, you got to go in and get your thing. Next up is a book I received from my mother. Now, if you know me, you know I love horses. I'm newly a horse girl. I was not into horses growing up. I mean, I thought they were beautiful, but I didn't have access to any horses. And then this year I said, I've always wanted to take a horseback riding lesson. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to take a horseback riding lesson. I have adult money and I can spend it on whatever I want. And immediately after my first horseback riding lesson, I came home and my fiance said, I've never seen you look so happy. I was on cloud 9. I love riding horses. I love hanging out with the horses. Sometimes after my lesson, they let me walk the horse back to the stable and it just feels like hanging out with an old friend. I'm pretty introverted, so I really do feel like owning a horse one day would be a dream because I love a friendship where we don't speak and we just sit in silence in nature. Or I could read a book next to my friend while they graze on the grass. That is my dream. So anyways, my mom knows that and got me this book. And it is just so fun. Oh my God, there's a card in it. I didn't even see the card. It says, because of course you need a book of horse. That's fun. Hope you're back in the saddle soon. Love you, happy birthday. That is so sweet. Mom, I'm sorry, I didn't even see this card. Oh, that's fun. It is a goat who seems to be tooting out confetti. He's farting out confetti and he's in the office. I love this. It says, this card made me giggle wishing you an amazing birthday. Love you so much. Love you, Mom. Thank you so much. And I'm going to keep this note in here because I love little, I don't know if this is an annoying thing people do, but whenever I buy someone a book, I like to write a little note in it, which maybe to them is like, well, now you've just ruined this book. I have to keep it forever because I can't donate it because there's this weird emotional message in it. But I love a little message in a book. This is a gift from Charles. You don't know Charles, but you probably know Charles's voice. He is the voice in all of my videos. So if you ever watch a short of mine and someone's talking behind the camera, that is usually Charles. Charles got me a bag from Etsy that has the Heyday chicken on it. Now, I wasn't going to say this, but he brought it up, so I will say it. I do think he made a mistake with the design. I do think you simply cannot see the chicken because it is on a white bag. And so the chicken is white and the bag is white. So I think there could have been improvements in the design, but it doesn't matter because I love it so much. And I would have never said that. He said that and I said, you know, I must agree. But I do love Heyday. That is one thing I love. And you will see that a lot of my friends got me Heyday inspired gifts. I had not heard a ton about Heyday until a year ago when I did a brand deal with Heyday. And so I had to download the app to kind of see what it was about, to see if I wanted to do a brand deal with them. And every day since then, my life has been consumed by it. I feel happiest when I'm on my farm. My virtual farm is everything to me. I put so much thought in its design. I care about all my animals on the farm very dearly. I spend a lot of time on it. And one thing that I have never let myself do is spend money on Heyday because that feels like the beginning of something very dark. Because if I start buying fake money on Heyday, I don't know where it ends. And so I've never let myself buy money on Heyday, and my friends know that. And they know that's such a hardship for me. And so he got me this bag, but he also got me, where is it? A $100 Visa credit card. A prepaid, no credit check, no monthly fee. And he said, I have to use it on Heyday. Now, if you play Heyday, you know $100, that can be life-changing on Heyday is all I say. I have not decided if I'm going to use it for that yet because my friend Andrew, well, I don't want to give away spoilers, but my friend Andrew also got me money for Heyday. He got me $50 for Heyday. And on my birthday, I immediately bought a bunch of gems on Heyday. $50 worth of gems. I have to be honest. I know that is crazy. And once I spent the $50, I said, this is too crazy. I have so many gems, I don't even know what to do with them. And so my perfect cousin and her girlfriend also sent me $30 for Heyday. This is becoming, it's almost too much Heyday coins. So now I've been like, you know what? I'm not going to spend any of this now. But as the years go by, if there's a thing I want so bad on Heyday, like a new hat to put on my cow is released and it costs a couple diamonds, I will let myself buy it. So I'm just going to let this cash kind of linger and know it's there if I need it. He also got me this. He told me these were bag fillers. I don't know. He got me a Hello Kitty Pez dispenser. This is a card from one of my closest friends in the world, Colin. I won't show you the message because it's private and it's really sweet, but it's a dinosaur opening his mouth. I love dinosaurs. See, very easy to shop for. Anything you would get for your 9-year-old nephew, probably something I would also enjoy. This was the card from Andrew, who got me my $50 from Heyday. And at the end of it, he said, so excited for our next cruise adventure, because we went on a cruise together years ago. And we've always been like, when are we going to go on our next cruise? And I gasped at the end of it. And he fully panicked at dim sum because I thought he had bought me a cruise. And then I was like, don't worry, I don't think you bought me a cruise. But part of me really wonders if I had just started thanking him for the cruise. I don't know, maybe I'd be on a cruise right now. Colin and Andrew also got me 2 books. I love reading books. I've read, I think, almost 40 books this year. I love reading. It is probably my favorite hobby in the world. And I have not always been that way. I really struggled with reading for a long time, but I also feel like every time I went to read a book, I was like, well, I should read something that's smart. Like I should read Edgar Allan Poe or maybe Michelle Obama's Becoming. And so I just never really was excited to read because I was always reading things that I didn't really want to read. But I realized I was like, I need to be reading how I watch TV, which is, when I watch TV, I almost exclusively watch trash television. I watch reality TV, a lot of drama, or I watch TV where there's lesbians in it. I pretty much, any TV show that has a lesbian in it, even if it's a side character, I will watch it just to, give my thumbs up to the network and say, good work on including me. So I was like, why I need to read that way? Because the goal that I feel like we all have, at least I know for me, is just to get off my fucking phone. I need to get off my phone because I'm on it so much. And so who cares what I'm reading? If I'm reading, I'm not on my phone, and that's incredible. Last year, my goal in January was to read one book. I was like, please, just push through one book so you're not such an idiot. Just one book. And now I've read I'm going to have read 50 by this month, and that just is so mind-boggling to me, and I'm very proud of myself. So Colin got me, it's called Kiss Me Maybe, and all right, I'll read it to you. It says, you're never too old for your first kiss. Library assistant Angela Gutierrez never went looking for love. She's never crushed hard or fallen head over heels. Instead, faced with pressure from her extended family, Angela pretends she likes boys. Oh, tale as old as time. Now she's 27, definitely into girls, and she's never ever been kissed. After posting videos exploring her true sexual identity, the entire internet is excited to find out what happens. She proposes an online scavenger hunt to find just the right woman to share her first kiss. That is very bold. I love the confidence, Angela. But planning an intricate trail of clues, all leading to Angela and her wanting lips, is a bigger challenge than anticipated. Fortunately, love-averse bartender Crystal Ramirez is happy to offer support, even if her irresistible teasing smile makes Angela's heart pound just a little too hard. But soon Angela realizes that her search for the perfect kiss, not to mention who she really is, might be more than she can handle. And worse still, she might be catching feelings for the one woman who's sworn off love altogether. That is just right up my alley. It's right up my alley. And Abby Jimenez, who's been on our podcast, and I absolutely adore her, is the quote at the top. It says, funny, smart, and spicy. A thumbs up from Abby Jimenez is worth its weight in gold. They also got me this one called I Kissed a Girl, which I have seen, these titles, I'm dying. Kiss Me Maybe and I Kissed a Girl. Let's get a little more creative, people. I have seen this book recommended a million times. And Janet Alexander, I think I've read a book of hers before. I don't know, but this looks so fun. Is a happy ending finally in sight for Hollywood's favorite scream queen? I don't know. I'm going to find out. I have a feeling yes. I also got, this wasn't a birthday gift per se, but an author, Kit Rosewater, sent me a copy of her book, All's Fair in Love and Feel Talky, which I'm just enjoying. I'm 189 pages in. So thank you, Kit, so much for sending me this. Books with these covers, I can never tell if they're young adult or not. I'm pretty sure it's young adult. But don't quote me on that, because sometimes these books with these cartoon covers, they take place in a high school, and I'm like, oh, this is very young adult. What a wonderful read for a teenager. If I'd had this in high school, I would have been so excited. That is so awesome. And then a chapter will come and it'll be like, my clenched. And then I'm like, oh dear. Oh, also Colin got me this. Let me show you. I'd never seen this before. So I love going to the gym, and I am also engaged. And I'm not wearing my engagement ring right now because we broke up. I'm just kidding. It's getting resized. But when I do wear it, apparently you can get it all scratched up on the weights, which makes total sense. Of course, I never thought about it because I'm irresponsible. But this goes over the engagement ring or the wedding ring, and you put it like that. Let me see if I can show you. You put it like that so that when you grasp, it protects the ring. I thought that was very thoughtful. That was a very sweet gift. I've never seen this before. Another thing that I got was on my birthday, we went to Savers. I love Savers. I love going thrift shopping. Not for clothes. That feels like the most overwhelming thing I've ever thought about doing. Clothes shopping in a thrift store, I'm sorry. I wish I could be better. It makes me want to throw up. There's so many clothes. There's so many. It feels like if you're not ready to, be there for 9 hours, there's no point in even looking. That's not true. And I also feel like anytime I compliment someone's outfit, they're like, oh, I got it from the thrift store. So I'm wrong, but that is just the feeling. I get very overwhelmed in a clothing section of a thrift store. But the home decor department yes, please. And I got this wicker basket, okay? I was very excited to get this. I have been wanting more wicker baskets. I love wicker baskets, but I don't want to go buy it from, I'm not even going to name the places because they don't even deserve my promotion. But I don't want to get them from some big store when every time I go into a thrift store, they have some type of wicker basket. Now, they're not always what I'm looking for, but I know that if I wait, and I'm really trying to work on my patience, if I just wait, I don't need to have my house be exactly what I want it to be right now. If I just wait, it's going to feel so cool if in 3 years I find the thing that I've wanted. And that's how this wicker basket felt. I know it seems silly, but I've been wanting a wicker basket just like this, truly just like this. This type of wicker, I like when it's really tight. I love that it has handles. So when I saw it, it felt so good. I could have easily just gone and bought this and I would have felt nothing. And I got it at the thrift store and it felt so satisfying. Okay, this is when things get really kind of insane. Jordan bought me a Vivienne Westwood bag, and not just any bag. This is a bag that 3 years ago, I believe, we were in London. The BCC Club, the podcast I used to be on with Sarah Shower, was being honored as a Spotify podcast. And we went to London and it was very fun. I saw it and I loved it. I loved it so much. But it was expensive. I mean, it was very expensive. And I was like, that is insane. That is so insane I needed time to think. I think if it had been online, I would have done it eventually, but I didn't have time to think. It was like, you can buy it now or don't buy it. And I was just like, I will be sick to my stomach for the rest of this trip if I do this. And I didn't buy it. And I literally have regretted it for 3 years. I've regretted it and I've tried to find it. I've tried to find it everywhere. I've looked everywhere. I've kept my eye on Poshmark, on Depop, on The Real. I don't know. And I don't know anything about these places, but Jordan does. And I've had Jordan also looking on all the places that one would look. And Jordan surprised me with it on my birthday. And I asked them where they found it. And they said some website that I don't even know what it is. They had to really dig to find this bag. And it's even more beautiful. Because part of me, I was like, what if it's not even... Now, I don't even remember what it looked like. I didn't even remember what the bag looked like. It had been so long. And I was like, maybe I built it up in my head. It's even better than I remember it. And I would say this is one of the greatest gifts I've ever received because I know it took so much time and effort for them to find it, but also it's just so damn pretty. Okay, here it is. It's a weekender bag. Oh my God, I love it. Okay, here it is in all her glory. This is it. It has the Vivienne Westwood logo on it, which I love. I think most designer stuff, I'm like, I don't want it to have the Gucci symbol on. It's too crazy. But Vivienne Westwood, I just love it. It's so cool looking. This is kind of close up of it. This is the inside of the bag. It's so nice. And so in it, they filled it with a bunch of presents. Diet Cokes, I know I'm a bad girl, but they got me mini Diet Cokes. And then they got me this Sleepy body spray, which I love a nighttime routine. I love spraying stuff and putting potions and lotions all over myself before bed. They also got me, I just have the box because I've been using it, but it's the Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm in birthday cake flavor. Very fun, very funny. I know it was my birthday, so they got me that. Oh, they got me this stuff. I'm obsessed with this stuff. I spray it on my face all the time. You know what? I do it right now. Really sanitizes you. I love this stuff. As a person who does not wash their face as much as maybe they should, this makes me feel a lot better about myself. And then they got me the Touchland Power Mist Hydrating Hand Sanitizer. I always feel like a beauty guru when I use this. I feel so fancy when I slide this into my purse. And then, they didn't have this in the bag, but this was from Savers when I went. It's a horse enamel pin. And I found that. And I got 2 others, but I don't know where they are. I think they're maybe, no, I haven't lose them, but they're somewhere. But I got 2 other horse pins that I love. And I thought this one looked so cool. And I'm like, maybe I get like a cool leather jacket and put this on it. I don't know. That's not very me, but maybe it could be. I don't know. So once I'd taken all the presents out of the bag, they were like, well, why don't we pack the bag and use it? And I was like, okay. And they were like, should we pack the bag and go somewhere? And I was like, yeah, I think we did. And so they surprised me with a little overnight at a spa pretty close to our house, which was so nice. I am becoming obsessed with traveling within a 7-mile radius of my house. So anyways, we did that. We stayed overnight. It was a delight. I posted some pictures on my Instagram if you want to go check it out. And that was my birthday. I had such a good birthday this year. I felt so seen and loved for who I truly am this birthday. Everything we did and everything I received was so me. It was so things that I truly like and enjoy. And so I just felt very known, which is always a wonderful feeling. So now I'm 26. And I have to say, this has been a great year for me, not on paper at all. I feel like 26 had a lot of trials and tribulations, personally. Just really kind of one of those years where you're like, I just can't catch a break. There just keeps being things happening that are kind of unfortunate. But at the same time, this has been one of my favorite years ever on a personal, inside of my body feeling note. I feel so much more confident. I don't know, I got my breast reduction this year and that changed my life. It's one of the best things I've ever done. So I feel so much more confident. I feel like I finally have figured out my workflow in a way that makes me feel really good and makes me feel like I get a lot done, but I also have time for investing in creative endeavors that aren't due that day necessarily, but are just things I would like to do. I feel like I also have time for my personal life, but I've also kind of figured out parts of my personal life maybe I don't want to give as much time to, and maybe I was just giving time to those because I felt like I should, and I've made a lot more time for social things and relationships that I really value and I love. And if anyone out there is self-employed, I think it is a real journey figuring out how to be your own boss in a way that is not an absolute prison. Because I feel like every single year on my birthday, I make goals. I'm like, what should I do different? And it's always like, well, I need to do a complete overhaul of my work schedule because it's a nightmare. My work schedule is not working for me. And I think this year I finally figured out my work schedule. And I think the main thing that has helped is removing guilt from it. And being like, there's no point in sitting and not doing anything and feeling terrible about not doing anything if you're not going to get up and do something. I work very hard and I post a lot of content, but sometimes I have weeks where I post less because something in my life is happening, positive or negative. Sometimes I'm on a vacation and that is really fun, but I post less. And I think in the past, I've just felt guilt through all of it. Like I could be in the hospital and I could be like, well, I know I'm not going to post a video because I'm in the hospital, but I still feel bad about it. I still feel a lot of like shame about it and I'm doing a bad job and I'm bad, versus just being like, it's 1 week in your work year that you didn't do as much work. It's really not a big deal. Let it go. And then the next week, you will get back on track and you will forget that week ever happened. And that has been a muscle I've had to work. I'm proud of myself in that way. I feel like I've really figured out my work schedule. And in the past, I felt like, oh my God, I feel like I'm working constantly. I feel like I'm never not working. And yet I feel like I also have nothing done. I feel like I haven't gotten anything done that I want to get done. This year, I feel like I have so much more free time. But I also feel like I'm getting so much more work done because I think I realized I was like, oh, when I was stressing about work, my brain was processing that as work. But that actually was not work. That actually was completely, I could have been on a water slide and I would have been achieving the exact same stuff. So that's been great. I feel like I really embraced my introvertedness this year and I loved it. I really loved it. I am pretty introverted. Feel like I was falsely labeled as a child as an extrovert because I was social. I was social and I had comedic timing. So people said that is an extrovert, but I wasn't. I love being on my own. And even as a kid, like I think back to my favorite moments as a kid is when I would go outside for 9 hours and play pretend by myself. I did not want other people to join me. I was like, no, you don't get the plot that I've created. You don't get the characters. You don't get the vibe, and you're not committing to the part. So no, I don't want to play pretend with you. I want to play pretend by myself. I loved being by myself and I still do. And I think sometimes it feels like that time is not valued by society. Who cares? Who cares? It literally doesn't matter. But I think I've in the past felt a lot of pressure to be like, well, how many friends do I have? If I don't have 10 best friends who I'm constantly going to Vegas with, then I failed as an adult. And this year I was like, you know what relationship I love to give to and what person I love to spend time with? Myself. I love spending time with myself. And I did that this year. When I go horseback riding, that is something I do on my own. That is a hobby that I do by myself, and I love it. I think it is so, well, my coach is there, but she's not very talkative. When I read books, that is by myself. And I love it. I started learning Japanese last year and I love it. Don't ask me to say a single sentence in it because I absolutely can't, which is really devastating because I spend a lot of time on it. I started writing a book this year and I have had so much fun with it. I started going to the gym a lot this year on my own, but I just really worked on my relationship with myself. And I feel like on this birthday, I was like, I just feel so close to myself this year. And that is valuable. And I have also spent time with my amazing, wonderful friends, of course, but I have not let myself think that being with other people is better, morally superior than spending time on your own. And if people decide that it is, it doesn't matter to me because I had such a happy year spending a ton of time by myself. And so I love that. My relationship's great. I will say, usually during New Year's resolutions and my birthday, I have a lot of things I want to work on. And this year I said, you know what? Top of mind, I don't have a ton of things I want to work on. And I'm sure that will be different by next year. So I'm just going to enjoy it. I feel like I did a great job this year. I worked on myself. I physically, mentally, I challenged myself. I jumped outside my comfort zone. And I looked damn good doing it. I know this is not usually the type of content I post, but if you liked it, comment down below. Let me know what type of videos you would like to see. And maybe ever so often I'll throw one of these up. I have a couple ideas for videos that I would like to do. And this really was just a treat to film. So I'm excited to keep doing it. Every Monday on this channel, obviously our podcast goes up, Happy Life, Happy Life. So make sure you're watching that. But yeah, like I said, ever so often, maybe I'll throw up just a personal video of me along with comedy videos and shorts and stuff like that. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye.